theater of magic. Alright, today with the Alvin G game, which you can go film that in a second, we've got a few bad transistors. We tested them, and this guy, those two, and this guy here. It looks like they've been replaced before.
You can see it's a little taller.
Having difficulty, this trace is already burnt. So I'm gonna snip off the top there and then push the pins back through the back side or out the front side, either way. So we'll time lapse here and show pulling all the transistors off this board, and then we'll see about finding the right transistor, putting it in there, and getting all these soldered back in. So time lapse it up. All right,
okay,
so
we're on the last one here.
Yep, I've gone through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and just going through, and you can see how I do it. I put the solder in, and then just lift straight up, and it kind of forms a little triangle on top. I heat up, then put a little solder, and you gotta be really watching closely, and you can see it kind of bubbles, and you can see it kind of flow through, and then raise up, and then I kind of put it on the post, put it on the plate, push some solder in, let it kind of bubble and cook, and raise straight up, and then that should make your connections. That's pretty much what we did for all 6 of these transistors that were bad on this.
You can see you can kind of tell the new ones.
And you can see the solder comes through to this side too. This one was a little heavy. You can see the solder has come all the way through onto that side. So
yep,
that's the way I like to do them.
Here's how we bought them.
Yep, they come in a little pack, 10 pack.
There's all the old ones that were cut off that we're not registering, which you can go through with the game on, touch here to a ground, and it will cause each one of those to fire whatever they're controlling. And
whether it be a flasher or a coil.
Flasher, coil, switch. Well, these didn't fire anything, so we replaced them.
Did you test them to find out if they were working or not?
Yes.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yeah, I marked each one with dark marker, and then
so
those
now
are the ones I took off.
We'll come back in, we'll cut off with the little cut-off side cutters, and make sure each of these don't ground off in the back of the board.
Right.
Let me get to where I can put some pressure on it.
Yeah, they're soft to cut, so they cut relatively easy. But yeah, if they stick through too much, they can ground themselves out.
And I try to never pull anything.
No.
So even cutting these off, I'm just kind of wiggling a little bit until I know that they're cut. That way I don't pull components on the board. I think that one was the only one that we had a trace missing, but I think that it went through and caught what it needed to on the other side. There wasn't actually a trace on this side. You can see the centers of all these don't go anywhere.
Right.
So knock all that off. Make sure there's no, oh, see, I missed one. Make sure there's nothing crossing. And then we'll test continuity on each of these legs after I've done them, just to make sure that This does travel to there, and this trace travels all the way over to here where it goes.
The reason why you do that is you don't want to put the board all up, hook it up, didn't fix your problem, when really you didn't get something soldered well enough. It's better to check it now than put it all back in the game and hook everything back up to it.
Yeah, you could also get traces like see how this is blobbed from that point over to this area.
Yeah.
Well, I think that is supposed to be that way because all of these traces look like that lead goes right into them.
Yes, it does.
You can see all those. So I think it's fine, but I'll double check continuity between each of these legs, and it should probably have continuity. So we'll do that test off camera before we throw the board in the game and see if we get something working.
All right.
Cool. Got to do this for an Alvin G game that boards are tough to find.
Yep.
You got to fix them yourself because this could be a $1,000 board. Who knows?
Here's the game that's going in. It's the Alvin G Garage Band goes on a world tour. So it's a nice game. There's where the board goes. It seems like most everything plays. Flippers weren't working, a couple of the pop bumpers. So hopefully this is going to fix everything.
All right, baby step, install the boards.
That's right.
And this Alvin G is similar to the older games, like pre-WPC. The screws have to come all the way out, similar to like the Tales from the Crypt and stuff. It's just a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
So much easier that they designed it that the boards were passed through over the things and drop down and clip, and then you tighten.
What is the what's the date of this game? 1992.
92.
But everybody else could have gone to the new system, and Alvin G was behind the times. I don't know.
I don't know either.
We don't know the history of Alvin G. I think it was confirmed they made 1,000 of these games.
Oh, that's more than I thought. I thought they were kind of boutique games, that it was
I think
only a couple hundred or so.
Well, I think that they
There's one in the middle, bottom left,
yeah, but I don't
right there. And then there's one up in the middle at the top. But I
I
don't
don't
know
think-
if it's
no.
got a screw hole for them.
It doesn't have a screw hole.
Or a mount. Similar to that. Oh, it might need a piece of plastic. You can see that one has a little plastic stanchion.
Yeah.
But I think that's supposed to ground out. That's supposed to... So I think you're good there.
Yeah, there's all four corners.
Did you mount it correctly in there?
That's what I was looking at.
You did not.
It's upside down.
Yeah, so turn it right side up.
Ah.
I just saw all your connectors are at the bottom and all the connections are at the top. So
I see.
Like my father always says, if you want it, do it right.
Do it twice.
All right, we'll revisit in a second. Okay, tested battery, made sure the battery was good while we had it out. And we just did that by touching the top of the battery and then touching the ground on the board through a screw hole. And tested 3.2 volts, so I think that's plenty of voltage. I think those little calculator batteries are only 3 volts, so
I think so too.
we'll see.
She's all in.
Communication, all those connected, all those connectioned. And this is pretty much, it doesn't look like much has happened, but it had several transistors burnt, so if you're looking for an Alvin G setup, here's the back of the backboard as well. Looks like a relay tower there. But that, I would say, is a pretty good example of an original setup.
Just reseat some of these connectors. I don't even know what this is. Some sort of, looks like switch
I don't know,
cylinder.
it could be an older bridge rectifier of some sort, or something.
Could be.
Because I don't see any bridge rectifiers in this, but...
Yeah.
Or what I understand a bridge rectifier to be.
This was probably what, the game? That's the game
probably
board.
Sound. That's probably
This is sound,
with all
okay.
the chips.
Okay, sound.
And that's probably CPU. This is power.
Power.
And I don't know. display.
Auxiliary, well.
Could be display because it's got a couple chips on it too.
Where's the, yeah, there's a display coming around.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we'll see.
The display seemed to have been working fine, so.
True. Now that we've fixed things, it probably will be not working.
Yeah, that probably won't work now.
All right, do the honors, sir.
Yeah, I'm scared.
Let's check for smoke.
Yeah.
We got some flashing. I didn't see any errors. We got some flashing over there, some flashing over there. I don't know what any of those mean. No fuses burnt. And none of this looked like it smoked.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
I don't feel that any of those are getting hot like they're burning my will to live by any means.
Michael Gottlieb. That's weird. He's the one that designed this game.
Let's do another quick infrared test. All right, so before we get to kicking everything, I'm gonna infrared and show you with my thermal imager all these to see what's heating up, and if anything, before we get to going and kicking things and firing things, I want to see if anything's heating up before we do major damage. So
there's the infrared or FLIR. You can see the hot spots.
The hot spot is 150 degrees. There is the tallest white.
And
so
you're looking at
160 is the high temp. Nothing up in there.
these. All those there are dissipating heat.
Yeah. And high on this board is
These
101. And high down here in the upper right corner there is 104. So this is the main heat there.
Yeah.
Which that's probably the power 160. But none of those transistors, none of them have even fired, so none of them are shorted. That's the main thing we were looking for, is to make sure none of that is shorting out. So none of them are bad there.
Look at the, these are incandescents with one LED. When they flash, I don't know if it'll pick it up.
I can still see heat behind those, but heat behind the LED too.
Is there?
Yeah, but I don't think that's going to show
There it is.
anything. They're not on long enough.
No, they're not on long enough. Okay.
All right, let's see. It wasn't, flippers weren't working. The auto launch wasn't working.
Got auto launch
There were
working.
lots of things not working with six transistors not working. I guess there were 6 things not working. So
Okay, we're going to push the button to start it.
Introducing Outdoor Fan!
it popped the ball right out too. So
Nothing.
up. Yep, the switch is working, but the coil's not working.
Flippers don't work either.
Delmore,
Those are working.
Metal Monster, Super Skid!
Those are working.
Rocket Skin!
Hit both flippers to play video.
There's your video.
You gotta hit drums, yeah.
Skin!
So flipper buttons are working, but coils are not. So, all right, I'm calling this video done for today.
Okay.
I think we're good on those, but need to fix flippers and we might be good.
Okay, and the launch button.
Oh, and launch button. So, well, at least it's kicking a ball up now.
Moscow.
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for watching Clark's Place.
Bye-bye.
All right, so power board, we just kicked it on, no issues. But all of these connectors, I went through, and what I heard about Alvin G games was that all of the connectors could have cold solder joints. This was the known issue. I'll credit TNT Amusements. We watched his video and he said that the back side of that, a lot of stuff can happen. So I went through and reflowed all the connectors in there, and then sanded all the pins. They all looked pretty good, but Pop said when he pulled these, they were really hard to get off, so there could have been some electrolysis or something. I don't know if that's what
Static
that
corrosion.
is. So cleaned all those, but all the pins looked pretty good. So we just reseated them a few times, kicked it on. It looked everything's good here.
We went through with the multimeter and traced all the lines out to make sure that nothing was broken anywhere. Everything fed back to the power board and everything just fine. So
all right, so flippers weren't working.
now we're going to
The
try.
launch button wasn't working. The feedback wasn't working. So major coils weren't working. The pop bumpers were though, but it wouldn't launch ball. It couldn't do.
And we thought there might be an
flippers.
issue with the pop bumpers. This is like, I think, the only game ever to be made that there's little coils on the flipper buttons, and as they pop bump, they pop these, so you feel the pop bumpers in the flippers. It's really unique. We saw that on the TNT video, that it's unique to this game.
Well, we'll see how that works.
And he said they're pretty rare. Of course, Alvin G, Alvin Gottlieb, they made 1,000 of them, so he said there's probably not that many around. But anyway, we're going to give it a try.
Introducing Alkaline
That's
Fans.
kicked out. So there's one coil fix. Oh, it's a little weak.
Oh,
Oh, get stuck.
flippers are flipping.
Oh, flippers are flipping.
So,
It needs rubbers.
yeah, it does.
There's no rubbers any.
Super skin.
Lights aren't working on that. We'll shop all that up. Okay, let's see. The kickback wasn't working. Oh, it's working.
That puts it up onto the guitar, gives you
That light
letters
works.
for that.
That one works. Okay, that light's
So
out.
lights up, but you got your mix.
But you can hit these, and I don't know if you can see that. But you can feel it.
I can see it with my eyes. It'll probably show up.
Okay.
That's pretty crazy.
It is crazy. So,
Dr. Skin.
Hit both flippers. Oh, you're playing drums, huh? 2 seconds. 1 second. 21 million points.
oh, it didn't flip.
Oh, it didn't? Or are you just not a good pinball player?
No. Now it's back to not working.
Oh, there it went.
That's working. Now they're not. So,
Oh, its ball is thinking about doing something.
I hear it in there.
Yeah, it's trying to do something. Are there not enough balls
Oh,
in it?
maybe there's not enough balls. No, there's not.
Yeah, put all the balls in. Alright, well, she's back working. We're gonna call this one good.